The final game of our courtside Saturday on the CW Saturday package. NC State and Pittsburgh. DJ Horn, the grad student, has had quite a basketball journey. Looking forward to seeing what he does tonight at the Petersen Event Center.
Next, don't miss the season finale of CW Courtside Saturday. With a primetime showdown between NC State and Pitt. CW Courtside Saturday, NC State, Pitt, coming up next.
The following is a presentation of CW Sports.
Something otherworldly. So put your helmet on and let me take you on this journey.
Carrington, the lob, Henson, the flush.
With the bars, I don't claim to be a star, but I'll always reach inside of your reach. Call me Mars.
Carrington, a lot of dribbling. Beating Federico.
Basketball on the CW, brought to you by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Tonight, we're in the Steel City for senior night inside Petersen Event Center, and Blake Hinson will play his final game as a senior in front of the Oakland Zoo as they take on the NC State Wolfpack for the second time this season. It is so great to have you with us for ACC basketball on the CW. Tom Wormy, along with the All-American from Duke, Mike Jaminski. And Mike, we already know that NC State will be number 10 seed at the tournament next week coming up in the ACC. What we don't know yet is where Pittsburgh will be. And in fact, should they win tonight, they might have a chance at the double bye at the tournament.
Which really is incredible, Tom. If you think about the start they had to this season and the hole that they dug themselves with, it's just been a terrific end of the year. Jeff Cable talked about finishing up strong tonight.
What a season it has been for Blake Hinson and his Pitt Panthers. Hinson leading the conference, 104 made three-pointers. Mike, that is a school record.
Well, and the thing about him, Tom, is that he's got an inside and an outside game. Now, the big concern, obviously, especially here at home, is from the three-point line. They want to try to cover up, and actually, NC State did a good job of that in the first time these teams played. But Hinson also has the ability to go inside.
And twice this season, Hinson has made 9 three-pointers in a single game. For NC State, DJ Burns had a huge game. The loss on Monday against Duke, but Burns went for a season-high 27 points, Mike.
Yeah, and Duke decided to play him man-on-man, and he had a lot of great opportunities, which he took advantage of inside. He's a wide body. He gets really great position, and if you double-team him, he's a terrific passer, so he can hurt you in a lot of different ways.
Mike mentioned the two teams played in early February, a win on the road for Pitt, and that takes us right to the keys to the game presented by Sky Rizzi.
NC State, they want to defend without fouling. Too many trips to the free throw line for Pitt in that game. They've also got to find support scorers for the two DJs, Horn and Burns. And then for Pitt, three-point production in Raleigh, only 5 of 21 from the three-point line, well below their average. And they want to protect the ball, get good possessions.
Yeah, the Panthers lead the conference in three-point shooting tonight. They welcome in the Wolfpack. CW Courtside Saturday. From Pittsburgh, the Panthers and the Pack. Closed captioning for ACC basketball on the CW is brought to you by Skechers Basketball, comfort that performs. The Oakland Zoo is primed and ready for the final home game of the regular season. Last Saturday of the schedule of the ACC, and then it's on to Washington next week for the ACC tournament. Here are the starting lineups for the Panthers and the Pack. DJ Horn is the leading scorer for NC State, just over 17 points per game. He struggled, though, Monday against Duke, only had 8 points in that game. Told you about Blake Hinson, the leading scorer for the Panthers, almost 19 points per game for Hinson. And Carlton Carrington has been an outstanding freshman this season for the Panthers. He is third in freshman scoring and second in freshman rebounding.
Well, we touched on it in the open time that, NC State did a really good job of defending the three in that first game. Pitt only 5 of 21 in that game, but it's going to be a taller order here at home.
Yeah, the Panthers went to the free throw line, Mike, in that game 20 times and made 18 of them. Trying to put the first points on the board, fight for the loose ball over near the NC State bench and collected by the Pack and O'Connell. NC State is 17 and 13 on the season, 9 and 10 in conference play. Morcell off the backboard for 2 for the Pack.
And it's good to see for him because his three-point shooting has not been there in the second half of the season, and they want him to be more aggressive, get to the rim, get to the line.
Third year in the NC State program for Morcell after 2 years at Virginia.
See how long it takes Blake Hinson to settle in here. A big night, obviously senior night for him.
Taken back by Horn. On the run. A reset with DJ Burns trying to go back door. But the pass off the fingertips of Taylor and out of bounds to Pittsburgh.
We talked about Horn and Taylor combined for 10 points against Duke, well below their average. And this is, even though a freshman backcourt, very talented for Pitt.
There was a loss on Monday for NC State at home against number 9 Duke, 79-64. Panthers had to win Tuesday on their home floor against Florida State. Second effort, Austin goes out of bounds, and that is NC State basketball. Jeff Capel in his 6th season as the head coach of the Panthers, 95 and 91 overall. O'Connell needs some help in the backcourt there, Mike.
We had 4 guys in the front court.
Everybody left him.
Yeah, Mike O'Connell's like, all right, I need somebody to pass to.
He's a transfer from Stanford. This is Burns. A little turnaround, high degree of difficulty when he comes up short.
They're going to try to play him man-on-man with Federico to start, as long as he can stay out of foul trouble.
Hinson trying to back it down. Rattles out for Hinson. Here comes Horn.
This is such a tough matchup. Against smaller cards, he can go inside if you try to take away the 3.
Missed from Horn. Hinson had 27 points, a game high in the win against Florida State on Tuesday. Made 6 three-pointers in that game in 37 minutes of action. He's got the ball now.
Interesting matchup with DJ Horn on Hinson to start with.
Hinson, a difficult shot, and the follow-up is a jam. Federico.
That's where he's going to do most of his scoring. They love to throw the ball up near the rim and a lob for him, and a great strong finish.
Leads the team in field goal percentage, not surprisingly, often very close to the rim, and 64% from the floor for Federico. Federico from Helsinki, Finland. Horn out of the corner, and that is money.
We talk about the repost for a center, and that was just a return pass for Horn. He gave it up. Defense relaxed, and he got a great look.
How about 89 made threes on the season for DJ Horn, shooting 43% from beyond the arc. Federico inside against Burns.
Again, this is a team about making choices, and I think for at least early on, Kevin Keats would like to see the offense going through Federico rather than Hinson.
He averages just under 5 points per game. He's got 4 in the first half. Guarding Burns. Spins around the defender for 2.
He did a nice job of keeping his feet right up until the very end. That's pretty good patience for Burns. He usually likes to work on the left block. Good spin to the baseline.
With 27 points on Monday for Burns against Duke, Mike, the first time he went over the 20-point plateau this entire season, although he has scored in double figures 22 times. Backing in and scoring, it's the senior Hinson.
And that's, again, it's a smart play for Hinson. You've got a smaller cover on you. Go inside, do your work there. But, for NC State, I'm sure they'd rather see him posting up than taking threes.
Taylor dropped it off to Burns for an easy 2.
He's He's got such quick feet. He's really good in the half court. Pitt wants to run him as much as they can in this game, try to fatigue him. But he is so very good in the low block.
6'9", 275 pounds, DJ Burns from Rock Hill, South Carolina. This is Hinson leaning in against Morcell. He hits the deck, and a foul is coming up against NC State. DJ Burns with the move on the inside around the defender. Crafty and nifty. But on the other end of the court, Blake Hinson, leading scorer for the Panthers. He's got 2, and it's a 3-point game.
ACC basketball on the CW is brought to you by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
The Panthers honoring their seniors tonight certainly includes Blake Hinson, teammates William Jeffress, number 24, and number 12, KJ Marshall, the senior from Reading, Pennsylvania. Honored for their commitment and dedication to this program, and what a senior season it has been for Blake Hinson. Mike, he had 41 points in a home win against Louisville. Made 9 3-pointers in that game. What about his performance on the road at Duke in that victory? 7 for 7 from beyond the arc.
And, you know, this team, Pitt, has 2 of the more impressive road wins on the year at Duke and then at Virginia at the time, which was a terrific win. They were rolling.
So Hinson will go to the free throw line.
Early rest for DJ Burns. Try to give him a little bit of time off in the first half. And the thing I saw, especially in the Duke game, really in the last 4 to 5 minutes, a lot of fatigue. Of course, he was having to do a lot of scoring. Also lead the Wolfpack in assists that game.
Hinson able to track down his own miss. Carrington. Hinson. Taylor closing quickly. Hinson a little bit of daylight. So Modiara now into the game for NC State. And Middlebrooks as well, number 34. Along with O'Connell. Also Jaden Taylor in there. And Horn. Middlebrooks. O'Connell lets it fly.
And with Middlebrooks in there, Federico can play center field a little bit defensively, and he can roam.
Leggett.
He's been such a huge part of this team coming off the bench his last 13, 14 games. Really has settled into that role, Tom.
He's a double-digit scorer, Mike, 12 per game. Middlebrooks, Federico fighting inside, and it's Middlebrooks.
Nice job. He had a tough night from the free throw line against Duke, but good bounce back there.
Just 2 points and 3 rebounds against Duke for Ben Middlebrooks. Transfer from Clemson. He's playing in his 91st collegiate game tonight. A lot of experience on the floor amongst these two teams. That includes Blake Hinson playing game number 127 in the college ranks. He'll fire away. May have been altered and deflected by the defensive Diarra. Kevin Keats, the head coach for the Wolfpack in his 7th season. 67 and 73 ACC games. Good record, though, Mike, against Pitt. He is 7 and 3 and 3 and 1 here in this building. In fact, NC State is 5 and 1 against the Panthers inside Petersen Event Center.
Well, they've been great on the road this year.
Up top.
Yeah, we talked about it. They like to throw lob to the big guys. Diaz Graham.
Lowe set him up. Guillermo Diaz-Graham, who averages about 6.5 points per game. This is Middlebrooks charging to the rim and a whistle. Contact. It's going to be Hinson.
There's the look, and you let him get to his left hand, and he's trouble. But then, you know, everybody's focused in on the drive. You see 3 sets of eyes looking at him, and Diaz-Graham has an easy basket.
He just picked up the foul at the other end to put Middlebrooks in the free throw line. 70% free throw shooter, Ben Middlebrooks, the junior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. NC State as a team, 72% from the stripe. That is 10th in the ACC.
And he was giving them, he's been a double-figure scorer 2 of the last 5 games, so getting a little bit more on. That's, you know, you combine him with Horn, that's some pretty good production out of the 5 spot. So far, the backcourt for Pitt has been very quiet in this game.
And that includes Jalen Lowe, who had a double-double against Florida State with 17 points, 10 assists, also had 5 rebounds for his first career double-double for the freshman. Carrington, freshman running mate, falling awkwardly at the stanchion and earning some free throws and pops right back up.
His eyes wide open. He got Middlebrooks on the switch out front. He knew he could take it. You know, I thought, now, Middlebrooks did a nice job forcing him to his left, his offhand, but picks up the foul. And it's, you know, as a guard, take it right to the big guy.
79% free throw shooter. Carlton Carrington. So, Mike, Wake Forest has posted a home win against Clemson, 81-76. Now, as Burns comes back into the game and Middlebrooks leads, that's what Pitt needed. If they can combine that with a victory tonight, they will have a double bye at the tournament next week in D.C.
Which, again, starting 1-5. Getting blistered by Duke here by 22, and then turning around, sort of beating them in Cameron, having the run that they've had. Outstanding effort by this coaching staff.
At the time, Duke was number 7, and they beat him 80-76. This is Horn, long distance launch, and Carrington goes up the ladder for the rebound.
Like a nice defense on Horn that time, then he took a tough shot.
Yes, Graham trying to follow his miss, can't do it. Breon passes into the game, number 10 in red and black. This is Burns trying to back his way in on Hinson, has to kick it out. Pass, just inside the line, hits the jumper.
Been getting a little bit more time lately, and it's only, you know, 10 points total his last 5 games.
He had only attempted 3 shots, Mike, in his last 4 games. So that's bonus offense. Low at the other end with the jumper for the Panthers.
He gets to that left hand, and you know, probably the lesser of 2 evils making him pull up and shoot a jump shot, but he has really improved over the course of the year.
Burns in traffic, turns around over the front rim. For DJ Burns.
That's a couple times now that he's really gotten himself buried picking up his dribble, but has been able to manufacture points.
So Burns is now 3 of 4 from the floor and 6 points. Leading scorer in our game so far as that was deflected. Leggett trying to work on the baseline. It ended up with Horn. And now Burns is trailing the play, Mike. Just joining the fray right now. Appears to be okay. Tried to drop that one low to Morcell on the cut, and Morcell converts.
That's what they do. They give Burns the ball up high. There's a lot of cutting lanes inside, and he is a terrific passer.
It's now a 5-point lead for NC State. Carrington slams on the brakes, little follow away and a kind roll.
You'd think Carrington, he's got a big advantage size-wise over the entire backcourt for NC State. So look for him to do some work in the paint area.
First field goal of the night for Carrington. Pass. Morcell, perimeter work with the shot clock down to 5. Morcell behind the line. Follows the miss, attacks the rim and scores. Casey Morcell for NC State.
Pittsburgh challenged the shot, but he never blocked out Morcell after that. And I've never been a big fan of following your own shot, but Morcell makes it pay off.
Struggles continue from beyond the arc for Morcell. Just 3 of his last 15 attempts. Not at the other end. T.S. Graham.
The first 3 for Pitt in the game.
He's made a few this season, 28 on the year. Pitt makes the most per game of any team in the ACC, and Diaz-Graham separates ball from Wolfpack player. Floater. Low has it for the Panthers. Ties us at 21.
I think Pitt, it's always emotional for the team on senior night, too. I think they've settled into the game with 10 minutes gone by.
Burns almost lost the handle. He spins and shoots and travels. We'll take a timeout. Mizzou loves it as the Panthers come back and tie this one up. 21 all on the CW. We are tied at 21. CW courtside Saturday in the first half. NC State and Pitt, fantastic crowd on a Saturday night in Pittsburgh. Let's take a look at what's going on around the ACC. Presented by T-Mobile. And we're keeping an eye on North Carolina and Duke for the 262nd time, Mike.
Yeah, and then that was about the score at half, too. Duke has not been able to carve back into that lead. Mike Krzyzewski and his wife Nikki there courtside. We saw that earlier.
North Carolina wins. They are the outright champions of the ACC. If Duke wins, you need some tiebreakers to figure out seeding.
You know, it's funny, and it's an unbalanced schedule now with the number of teams, but Coach Smith always said the winner of the regular season should be considered the champion, just because you're tested over the course of the season against every team.
North Carolina 24-6, Duke 24-6 as they are both inside the top 10. Carrington shot rattles out. Taylor runs it up. NC State is trying to stop a 3-game losing streak. 2-4 in their last 6 games. This is Burns. Hit the cutter. Taylor has done that a few times tonight, Mike.
No, that backdoor cut with Burns lifted has been there in the first half.
And again, the Panthers, if they win tonight, they can get one of the top 4 seeds. They would be number 4. Virginia, North Carolina, and Duke have secured double byes at the ACC tournament.
How about DJ Burns with 3 assists in the game already?
Leggett carving his way to the rim.
Well, NC State's driven him off the 3-point line, so well done there. But Pitt doing a nice job countering and getting to the rim.
Pitt is 1 for 5 on threes. NC State 1 for 4 on 3-pointers. The Panthers make about 10 per game to lead the ACC. Inside of 10 of the shot clock.
And a lot of that Blake Hinson has been quiet in this game so far.
So tie up with the arrow favoring NC State. DJ Burns just threads that pass inside to a cutting Taylor. We are tied at 23. DJ Burns and his teammate Casey Morcell both have 6 points. They lead everybody in scoring. So we welcome you back inside Petersen Event Center. Let's take a look at the significant stats brought to you by J.P. Morgan Wealth Management.
Well, I think the key thing there, you look for both teams, 16 points in the paint. Now for NC State, in this building, this is exactly the type of game they want to see played. They don't want to see a 3-point barrage by Pitt.
Right now, the Panthers are shooting 67% for Kevin Keats. Pitt, pretty good at 50% as well. That's a quick trigger from Taylor. Bounces around. Easy board for Diaz-Graham. A lot of activity in the paint, as you saw. Carrington extending the range. Over the top, Federico tapped it.
But that was a very tough jump shot for Carrington.
Baseline activity coming out of the corner for 3 in front of the NC State bench for Jalen Lowe.
And that's the best look they've gotten to. Good drive, good penetration into the lane, and Lowe had an easy look.
Second 3 of the game for the Panthers. And Pitt out in front by 3 after the Lowe 3-pointer. First lead tonight. Burns, twisting move.
First real double team we've seen, and it was big.
Leggett against O'Connell. Offensive foul called. Ishmael Leggett trying to drive the lane.
There's the look. You see the screen roll here, and the inside, no weak side help, and that's great offense right there. Great camera work from our crew there. Great look, fellas.
That's 2 of 7 on three-pointers, Mike. So they now have attempted 824 three-pointers this season, far and away the most in the conference.
Well, yeah, and 40% of their offenses over the course of the year has come from behind the arc.
Orcel, heavy-handed. Austin had the rebound. Low quickly.
Even off those misses, NC State has been pretty good getting back in transition defensively.
Closing in on the 6-minute threshold. Low. Course correction, drops it low. Diaz-Graham fumbled it away. And now Taylor. Congested area, foul called. Picks up the foul.
Well, the Wolfpack got the turnover, and Kevin Keats didn't necessarily think when he was talking to us before the game that he could turn Pitt over a lot, but that he might be able to speed them up and get them to take some quick shots a little early in their offense.
You're watching ACC basketball on the CW, brought to you by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Jaden Taylor is at the free throw line. NC State has gone over 2.5 minutes without scoring until that free throw. Taylor, the junior from Indianapolis, Indiana, and a transfer from Butler. Panthers have won 2 in a row. 3 of their last 4. Twisting shot, up and good, and a chance at the three-point play. Ishmael Leggett.
You know, we've talked about the backcourt of Carrington and Lowe, but what an explosive move. He got the switch on Diarra and just blew right by him to the rim. Watch this. That's against 2 bigs right there, and finishing with an acrobatic shot.
Ross picked up the foul, and the old school three-point play for Leggett. 5-point Panther lead.
NC State, they're trying to get Burns some extended rest here in the first half. He's gotten some time on the bench.
Mack has lost 2 in a row on the road. Orcel misses, looking for a call, didn't get it.
A little bit of a forced shot inside that time. Pitt's defense has gotten a lot stingier in the last 4 minutes.
Rico had it poked away. Ended up with Austin. Shot clock is at 10. Austin baseline move. Ross came over to meet him. Didn't stop Austin.
There have been some pretty good finishes at the rim by Pitt so far in this game.
Timeout taken by the Wolfpack. Zach Austin on that move just a moment ago. The redshirt junior from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Now the lead is 7.
Here's the look. It's the fake and the drive has been there for Pitt, and not bad defense going straight up, but just a better finish. You can see that Wolfpack really focused in on driving them off the three-point line, making them shoot inside.
Panthers make the most threes of any team in the ACC per game, almost 10 per. They are 2 of 7. Driving to the bucket to build a 7-point lead.
The other thing, too, we talked about the big disparity in the free throw line in the first game in the loss at Raleigh, and so far, NC State, nice job defending without fouling. But Pitt just making some terrific finishes inside.
We've only seen 9 combined free throws here in this first half with just over 5 minutes to go in the second meeting of the season between these two teams. They played on February 7th, a 3-point win. Panthers on the road. DJ Horn had 25. DJ Burns had 19.
And a lot of this lead has been built without Hinson really participating in the offense.
Horn only has 3 points so far. He has the ball now.
Leggett just locked in on him.
A lot of dribbling from Horn. Burns with the shot clock at 5 hits the jumper.
Federico was helping out on Horn that time, and he was a little late getting back to Burns on the jump shot.
8 points now for DJ Burns. Carrington, free throw line. To the corner, Leggett ran it down against Taylor. Hinson up top, Federico. He'll lay it in.
You know, for a guy like Hinson in this game, as important as it is, it would have been a tough shot, but he gave it up for an easy layup. Really unselfish.
6 points now for Federico. O'Connell lining up a three. Off target. Ross tried to grab it. Out of bounds in Panther basketball. So it was Blake Hinson after Leggett ran it down. Put it up on the rim for Federico. Made no mistake with the Panthers in front. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary presented by Pacific Life, creating financial security for more than 150 years.
Well, at one point, it was even in the paint. Pitt has gone on a little bit of a spurt here, stretching it out 22-16. The key thing, though, is with Pitt in this game, they're shooting over 50%, also 6 offensive rebounds. A lot of those have been tap-outs to keep the possession alive. NC State's got to track those down.
Pitt is at 54% shooting in the first half. NC State, 52%. Here is the resume and snapshot. 20 wins, and Mike, you mentioned it. They started in the ACC 1-5.
And how about Tom? 1-5, and they're going to Duke,
where they had not won, Mike, since 1979. That was G-Man time. Rebound taken by Taylor, and Michael, we just told that DJ Horn has gone to the locker room for NC State. We'll keep you updated on that situation.
And that was a shot that Hinson took. He wanted to be part of the offense. He hadn't had a touch in a while.
Up ahead, Federico could not catch up with it. Out of bounds and to the Wolfpack.
Now that's one that Carrington ill-advised decision that time. There was no real estate to convert that. But again, you'll see Federico out trying to run, make Burns keep up with him in the open floor.
Burns is up to 8 points. He is the leading scorer for the Pack in this first half. Shot clock down to 5. Taylor, catch and release for 3. Long rebound low. Tough bounce pass to Federico and intercepted Taylor. Morcell working quickly, and that is going to be Pitt basketball. All right, coming up on the Subaru halftime report, the best of courtside Saturday. We'll have a recap from BC and Louisville, a game won by the Eagles, and we'll check in with Liv Hong Kong. We'll get a recap from that as well. That's all coming up on the Subaru halftime report.
Well, Pitt has made a couple of bad decisions on the break and have not gotten hurt down to the other end. State failing to capitalize.
How about NC State, Mike? Just one made field goal in the last 6 minutes for the Pack. Still hanging in there, though. Carrington has an open path. He knows his alleys right to the rim.
Yeah, and it went to get to his right hand, and what happened, there was a lot of traffic around that screen up top, and he was left all alone.
5 points now for Carrington. Both Leggett and Lowe have 7 points. We'll stay at this end of the floor. Freshman Carlton Carrington from Baltimore, Maryland, Mike.
Why so say, look at all the traffic right there, and then just kind of weaving back and forth with it, and Burns not able to recover from the high post.
His
nickname is Bub. Bub has gone for 5 points so far tonight, including that driving layup. Burns.
Without Horn, they're going to have other people step up to score.
Leggett. Hinson. Mid-air contact. Morcell, the closest defender. Diarra also there for NC State.
And him by trying to go for the dunk gets the call right there. And our camera person right in on the action.
Morcell picked up the foul for NC State. Third stop for Hinson, Mike. 2 years at Ole Miss. Also played at Iowa State. Second year in the Pitt program. 65 games in a Panther uniform.
It's here that he really has blossomed into an all-league player.
Is 0 for 3 from beyond the arc. That's his specialty. He's made over 100 of them this season. He's third in the conference in three-point shooting by percentage. 5 points now for Hinson after his trip to the free throw line. Pitt is on a 16-3 run late in this first half. Double team on Burns. Taylor. They run him off the three-point line. He takes it to the rim. Score the basket and the foul.
All of that was set up. They had to switch and they had to double team on Burns, and this opened things up. Pretty solid defense in the recovery by Pitt coming out of that, except for the last drive.
So Leggett picked up the personal foul for the Panthers to put Jaden Taylor at the free throw line. Points now for Taylor. Austin is back in for the Panthers. Leggett to the bench. DJ Burns will get a late breather with 1:20 to go.
You know, it's going to be interesting to see, Tom, in the second half if these extended minutes of rest for Burns are going to pay dividends in the second 20 minutes.
8 points so far in the game for Burns, who is now seated on the Kevin Keats bench. Minute change to play in the first half. Fast-paced, entertaining basketball in the ACC on the CW. All kinds of commotion in front of that NC State bench. And now Hinson trying to harvest the jumper, and he will.
Yeah, he's again with pass on him. He looked around for somebody to pass to, but that was his best option to go up for the jump shot. 19 points per game for Hinson, third best in the ACC. He's up to 7 now after that jumper. Taylor had it knocked away. Coming out of the corner. Trying to put a little touch on that one to miss the pass. And that's going to be a Pitt ball. Diarra couldn't pull it in. We've waited long enough. The highly anticipated return of the CW's Walker is almost here. The all-new season premieres Wednesday, April 3rd, 8/7 Central. Only on the CW. Well, you know, we talked about it, NC State, you pick what you want to defend, and they've really done a nice job covering the three-point line, but Pitt has countered and gone inside and been very productive.
Final 15 seconds. Low to start the offense. Trying to work over the Hinson screen. Charges to the rim. Spins and shoots. That shot would not have counted. 39-29 at halftime. DJ Burns led the way with 8 for NC State. And it's a 10-point lead for the Panthers. Our Subaru halftime report is straight ahead on senior night inside Petersen Event Center. This is CW Courtside Saturday. This is the Subaru halftime report, brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru. Second meeting of the season, NC State and Pitt, the final Saturday of the regular season of the ACC. 10-point lead for the Panthers at halftime. We thank Evan and Brian for that recap. Got a little pickup game going on here at Petersen Event Center as well. We'll have more on the Subaru halftime report right after this, with the Panthers up by 10 on the Pack. Welcome back to the Subaru halftime report. The Panthers have built a 10-point halftime lead. By the way, they're 17-2 with a halftime lead this season, and the Zoo happy about that. Looking to try to get the double bye. And tomorrow, the final round of Live Golf Hong Kong heats up. Zoo walks away with the title and millions in prize money. Live Golf Hong Kong, the final round tomorrow, 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, only on the CW. A lot of emotion in the building tonight, especially for Blake Hinson on senior night. He and the Panthers have a 10-point lead, and we'll have more on the Subaru halftime report.
It's great to have you with us. ACC Courtside Saturday on the CW.
Go. Up and under!
And the kick salad right before the end of the clock.
Abdullah takes it away. Barron all the way.
Scoring for Petersen.
Yeah, we still live.
Gerard spins and hits. Straight away, and he does it again. Gerard to Godfrey, going on a rim fender. Zachary's got some daylight, gets it off.
Federico, quick dish, and Hinson beats the buzzer. Pass, Clark to the corner. Williams.
And what a tremendous season it has been, Mike, on the CW. We started with the Georgia Tech upset of Duke down in Atlanta.
Yeah, and it's continued to be, great game after great game. It's been a terrific package, and looks like we're going to finish on a high note as well.
We have had so much fun this season. We thank you for being along for the ride. By the way, our football season started in Pittsburgh, Mike. We're going to end the basketball season right here in the Steel City. Let's check out our Subaru halftime stats between the Pack and the Panthers.
Well, Pitt shooting a high percentage, also some big advantage rebounding the ball, especially in the offensive glass, points in the paint. And NC State is going to have to overcome the loss of DJ Horn, who won't be back in this game.
Yeah, he's their leading scorer. He is out with a lower extremity injury and will not return for the second 20 minutes. Just 3 points in the first half for Horn and a 10-point lead for the Panthers. This has been the Subaru Halftime Report, brought to you by Subaru Love. It's what makes Subaru, Subaru. CW Courtside Saturday is brought to you by Ram. Built to serve. Just about set for the second 20 minutes between NC State and Pitt. As we told you, going out on break. DJ Horn not available in the second half. Lower extremity injury. Blake Hinson, he and Lowe and Leggett all have 7 points to lead the way for the Panthers.
But I would look, Hinson was really understated offensively in that first half. And here's the look. It's the one basket that he's made. So that's going to be a lot for the Wolfpack to overcome. But I would guess that Hinson might be a little bit more aggressive, especially here early in the second half.
Hinson, the leading scorer for the Panthers this season, almost 19 per game and third best in the ACC. DJ Horn, who is out with a lower extremity injury, leading scorer this season for NC State. Well, North Carolina sewed up that top seed 84-79, and they sweep the series against Duke this year.
Incredible bounce back year for North Carolina. Boy, Hubert Davis has seen everything in his coaching tenure, hasn't he?
How about Hinson trying to go over the shoulder to Federico? Ends up with Taylor, let the defender fly off by, and he knocks down the 3-ball. And maybe that's the way, Mike, that NC State and Kevin Keats get back in this one without Horn.
Yeah, and other people, it's not going to be on one person. Other people are going to have to step up. Casey Morsell is going to have to pick up some scoring as well.
So the first 3 of the game for Taylor, who has now made 47 this season. Carrington answers with a 3-ball at the other end for Pitt.
He's a guy. He's actually, his three-point shooting has been better toward the end of the season, Tom. But again, given the choice, I'm going to be. If I'm a defender, I'm going to like seeing him rise.
Carrington up to 8 points now, leading scorer for Pitt. This is Taylor looking for another 3. Too strong. Carrington entered the game averaging 19 points and 6 boards in his last 3 games, trying to keep it rolling tonight against NC State on senior night. It's Hinson for 2, knifing his way to the bucket.
Yeah, really, you didn't have to worry about Burns blocking his shot.
Top Diarra preserving the possession for Taylor. Marcel, explosive drive. Federico recovered defensively up and in for NC State.
Well, and the thing that Pitt has to guard against is letting down, the other team's best player and best scorer out of the ball game. It's not a time to take a deep breath and relax.
Panthers working on a 5-game home winning streak. Wins against Florida State, Virginia Tech, Louisville, Notre Dame, and Wake. Trying to close out the season and get their 21st win of the year. Carrington, money from 3.
All right, so now he's knocked down 2 in a row, and now it's really, really tough to guard.
58 threes of the season for Carrington. Burns trying to counter. Burns does not get the bounce. Does get free throws.
Here's the look, and you see they're going under the screen. They're going to give him plenty of room and make that an option. But if he steps up and makes threes, shake his hand and come out with another defensive game plan.
4 of 10 now, 3-pointers for Pitt with Burns at the free throw line.
Again, a little more rest than he normally gets in the first half. Let's see if that keeps him fresh for the second 20 minutes. But without Horn, they can defend guys a little bit differently. I think they could be a little bit more aggressive in double teaming Burns if they need to.
So Taylor and Burns have 9 points, leading scorers for the Pack tonight. Hinson way behind the line, ripping the ropes for the Pitt Panthers.
And he just kept backing up. Diarra is a good matchup for him. He's athletic enough to bother him on the 3, but that was deep.
First 3 of the night for Hinson on 4 tries. Marcel, the kick and Taylor. Diarra over the top. Burns trying to clean it up. Doesn't get the bounce. Out to Taylor. He can't handle it. Federico saves it. He goes in for the jam. All the way for the slam for the Panthers.
ACC basketball on the CW is brought to you by Pacific Life, creating financial security for more than 150 years.
At the confluence of the Monongahela and the Allegheny to form the Ohio, it is all Panthers. They have made their last 6 shots in a row. Austin with the save, and then he tries to tip the rim off its hinges.
Well, and Austin's unique in that he leads his team in blocks and in steals, and gets rewarded for his work there. He's a terrific defensive player. Sorry, second on the team in blocks and steals.
He has scored over 1,000 points in his career as a transfer from High Point University in North Carolina, where he played a couple of years. First year of the Pitt program, and a thunderous ending to that last sequence as he saved it and then slammed it. And this is a steep uphill climb for NC State without its leading scorer, DJ Horn. This is the other DJ, Burns. Shot clock is at 7. draws the double. O'Connell, he hits a three right in front of his own bench.
It's interesting, they dug in that time. When Burns puts the ball on the floor, they're going to dig in and try to double a bit more, but nice answer by O'Connell.
Still just 3 of 12 on three-pointers for the Wolfpack. Carrington, behind the backboard, off the back of the glass, and that was deflected. They're saying it was deflected, so it will maintain possession when we come back.
We're Ram, and when trucks are what you do Truck Month better than anyone else. You do trucks that work harder and play harder. And you do trucks that win by breaking every rule of what a truck should be. So this Truck Month, what you should do is drive a Ram. Trucks are what we do.
Now get 10% below MSRP for an average of $7,500 under MSRP on the purchase of select 2024 Ram 1500 trucks.
Dad, we're gonna be late.
Can't stop adding stuff to your cart? Get the Bank of America customized cash rewards card. Choose the online shopping category and earn 3% cash back.
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Thanks to Skyrizi, I'm on my way with clearer skin. 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to.
Nothing on my skin means everything. Ask your dermatologist about Skyrizi. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Oof, gotta get rid of this.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks.
Have you tried Downy Rinse and Refresh?
It helps remove odors 3 times better than detergent alone.
It worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh.
Businesses go further with 5G solutions. That's why they choose T-Mobile for Business. PGA of America and T-Mobile are partnering on 5G-powered analytics to help improve player performance. T-Mobile's network helps AAA stay connected nationwide to get their members back on the road. And Las Vegas Grand Prix chose T-Mobile to help fuel operations for one of the world's largest racing events. Now is the time to see what America's largest 5G network can do for your business.
52-38, the Panthers with the lead early in the second half. Against visiting NC State, it will be Panthers basketball. Let's take a look at what's going on around the ACC, presented by T-Mobile, Mike.
Yeah, some good score. Obviously, the way Clemson score impacts this game with Pitt being able to get the double bye, and then North Carolina taking care of business. How about Cormac Ryan with 31 points, 6 of 8 from 3.
And the #1 seed in the tournament next week for Hubert Davis in North Carolina. Leggett on the jumper for Pitt. North Carolina this season, although on the road today with 14-1 at home, the only loss against the Clemson Tigers, who are also expected to join the NCAA tournament field, although they lost today on the road at Wake, which they lost once at home. Taylor on the drive. Wake's only loss at home was against Georgia Tech. We saw them in overtime, Mike, on the CW, and win a game in OT against Miami. That was a close shave for Steve Forbes' team. And they're trying to make the tournament as well.
We're going to be teams with work to do in the term, but that's the case every year, just about.
Steal from Leggett. If the Panthers win, they will get the #4 seed, Carrington.
First time since joining the league they've ever gotten a double bye.
First time in their 10 years as a part of the ACC. Last year they were the #5 seed. That had been their highest seeding at the tournament. Made it to the quarters and lost to Duke 96-69 in Greensboro after a second-round win against Georgia Tech.
No team has come out of Tuesday and won the tournament so far. Some teams have come out of Wednesday and done it.
NC State will be playing on Tuesday, Mike, as the #10 seed. They'll take on Louisville. They made it to the quarters last year as well and lost to Clemson in Greensboro 80-54. Beat Virginia Tech in the second round. Henson
had a clear path to the basket. His defender fell down and he took the step back.
Foul against the Panthers and Leggett. The CW's #1 show making a comeback from the sidelines to the streets. Don't miss the All-American season premiere, Monday, April 1st, 8/7 Central, only on the CW. As I sit next to the All-American from Duke, Mike Jaminski. And Mike, it's been a pleasure. Another season in the books for us, and it's been wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
It's been awesome. As always, Tom. I love being your wingman.
Fantastic trip through the ACC. From December to mid-March. As we mentioned at halftime, we started. Our first game on the CW, Mike, was a court storm by Georgia Tech as they upset Duke at home. In fact, they went on to beat North Carolina at home as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, we had this Pitt team with 2 very impressive road wins, and that Georgia Tech team with a couple of very impressive home wins. Damon Stoudemire in his first year.
It's going to be a fun week next week in D.C. for the 71st ACC tournament. And the Panthers, if they can win this one, won't see the court until the 3rd day of the event. The final on Saturday night in our nation's capital. Connell from the free throw line.
And that has always been a test, too, for somebody who's gotten a double bye, Tom, especially by a team if their first game was Wednesday. They've gotten one game under their belt, a win. Sometimes that's a problem for the team that's not taken the court yet.
And although Duke lost today, Mike, they head to Washington as the defending champs, beating Virginia by 10 last year in the title game in Greensboro, North Carolina. Which, by the way, for the next 5 years, it's either Charlotte or Greensboro. That's the destination for the ACC tournament.
Make it easy travel for us.
Yeah, absolutely. We will be there. Diaz Graham was defending. How about the job that this guy's done this season, Mike?
And he talked about it, and just trying to be as positive as he could. He thought he saw some things there, even with the 1-5 start.
He wasn't totally convinced that they could overcome that.
It was a little bit of a fake it till you make it type of philosophy.
Morcell at the free throw line for NC State. But we had a long discussion with Coach Capel at the shoot-around today, and we asked him specifically about the start. And he said, we didn't make a big deal about it. We knew we were going to Duke. We went there and had perhaps our best game of the entire season.
And he thought, too, the best thing was getting away from Pitt and going to Duke. And then they followed that up with a win down at Georgia Tech. So it was a great trip to gain some momentum. And boy, did they ever.
I mean, they've won 10 of their last 13 games, and those are all in the ACC. 8 of their last 10 and 3 of their last 4. That is some momentum heading to Washington.
And you can see the importance of this game. It has been a very tight rotation.
Hinson followed his own miss.
Only 7 guys have played for Pitt so far with Capel's championship mode.
Panthers had gone about 3 minutes without scoring. Hinson with that field goal on a second effort. Inside of 12 minutes to go now in our second half. Middlebrooks maintains the pivot foot and calculates the angle.
Backcourt was his friend that time for sure.
I'll tell you what, Mike, NC State is not going away. It's a 10-point game.
That's what I was saying. It was way too early to go into the home run trot. And this is the thing, and I'm sure Jeff Capel's going to talk to him about this at that timeout. Let's keep our focus there and finish this game off. That was the theme of shoot-around today. Finish the deal.
Not ready for a Bill Mazeroski in the World Series in 1960 quite yet.
See, now don't be.
Morcell, turn around.
Leggett, don't bag on my Yankees like that, man. That hurt.
We got plenty of titles, Mike.
Yeah, that hurt.
Leggett all the way. Didn't get the roll. He hit the deck near the stanchion and a whistle. Senior night for Blake Hinson, 14 points, 5 of 11 from the floor. Staying with it. Panthers by 10.
On the CW is brought to you by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
Just a couple of weeks ago, the 50th anniversary of the 1974 National Championship team. Mike, they went 30-1, won the title game against Marquette at Greensboro Coliseum. David Thompson, Tommy Burleson, and Gary Hahn also honored for his 30-plus years of service as the radio play-by-play announcer for NC State. On Monday, they had their final home game. It was a loss to Duke, but Gary was honored for all his dedication to the program. Basketball jersey, football jersey, and we wish him the very best.
Yeah, and he and Tony Haynes, 25 years they've been together, and a terrific duo. Great calls on the radio. Gary, just a wonderful guy to visit with and get the lowdown on what everything Wolfpack when we have games here.
He's got at least one more basketball game to do. NC State, number 10 seed, will take on Louisville, the number 15 seed in Washington next week.
Let's see how Pitt does coming out of that timeout. Maybe regain a little bit of focus and purpose here.
Shot clock is down to 4. That's some focus.
While Carrington has bailed them out with some three-point shooting here in the second half, and that possession really not going anywhere, and only about 3 seconds left on the shot clock.
3 of 6 on three-pointers for Carrington to double digits for the 22nd time this season for the freshman from Baltimore, Maryland. He's one of the youngest players in all of college basketball and has a triple-double to his credit. Diaz Graham defensively.
Diaz Graham keeping his feet that time.
November 6th, Mike. Carrington, a triple-double. First game of the year against North Carolina A&T. And it's Hinson.
Yeah, he's starting to feel it from behind the arc now, too. His second 3 of the game, 17.
I mean, in a blink, Mike, this was a 10-point game just moments ago. Taylor. Pass. 3. And pass connects. And an immediate timeout by Kevin Keats. So Breon pass, hitting the 3, just the 4th made tonight on 14 chances from beyond the arc.
We talked about their bigs are all very good shot blockers and stealing the ball. Great job keeping his feet right there. And then right here, this is Hinson. He's really been seeking that three-point line, especially in the right side of the floor.
So Hinson has made 2 threes tonight. That gives him 106 on the season.
Tell you what, though, NC State, some pretty good answers without Horn in this game. There's Pitt, and they're making, I tell you what, with a win here and the double bye, that's a strong resume for the NCAA tournament, I think.
Made it to the second round last year before losing to Xavier. Won in the first 4, Mike, against Mississippi State, and then beat Iowa State in the first round of the NCAA tournament a season ago.
Did it with older guys last year. He's got a much younger crew except for Hinson.
They went last year, Mike. They had not been since 2016. Hinson behind the last line of defense for the Wolfpack.
Everybody lifted is kind of what NC State was running, and that just opens up backdoor cuts for Pitt.
27 times this season, double digits for Hinson. He now has 19 of 7 of 13 shooting. Middlebrooks. Diaz Graham poked it away momentarily. Middlebrooks recovers and scores.
We talked about it. He's given them some nice scoring. He's got 8 points now in the game. Nice job keeping his balance. He's had some very tough finishes around the rim in the game.
It's above his season average of about 5 points per game from Middlebrooks, the transfer from Clemson. Leggett able to save that one from the front row here at Petersen Event Center. Leggett got a little too deep there. Ball goes out of bounds and will stay with Pitt. Closed captioning for ACC basketball on the CW is brought to you by Skechers Basketball. Comfort that performs. So glad that you're with us for ACC basketball. CW courtside Saturday. Tom Lumley, Mike Dominski and our outstanding production crew. We thank everyone at Raycom Sports and at CW Sports. And Carrington inside the line for 2.
Dangerous guy, the guy inbounding the ball underneath. There's only 4.5 seconds on the shot clock, and that was run to perfection.
Points now for Carrington. Taylor, nowhere to go. Got it back from Diarra. Wide open 3. Makes no mistake. Once again, the leading scorer for NC State, DJ Horn, had to leave. Did not return to the game and not available for the second half. Lower extremity injury.
And Taylor has stepped up. He's the only roller. He's the only pack in double figures with 14 points. Make that 16 points. But he needs some help out there.
Taylor, who did not score in the first meeting between the teams in early February, now has 16 points.
He only had 2 against Duke on Monday and didn't make a field goal.
Middlebrooks almost stole that one. It goes out of bounds, and that's Pitt basketball. He was trying to get around Federico. How about this game from Jake Taylor? Back to a 10-point lead for Pitt. Ten-point lead for the Panthers. They have led by as many as 17 in this second half with 7:22 to go. In Greensboro, North Carolina, it's the week of the women's tournament in the ACC. Couple of big wins for Notre Dame, the number 4 seed, against Virginia Tech, the number 1 seed, without Liz Kitley, the 3-time player of the year in the conference. And NC State and West Moore advancing to the title game, 69-43 against Florida State, which had an upset win against Syracuse yesterday.
So those seeds, you'd expect that, obviously injuries, but a little more competitive semifinal round.
So Virginia Tech will not be around to defend its title. NC State won the ACC Women's Championship in 20, 21, and 22. And they're back in the title game against Notre Dame, which won it 4 years in a row when they entered the conference. Back to the action here at Petersen Event Center. Carrington.
He's been terrific in the second half. And every time that Pitt, though, has tried to, stretch this out to a lead, NC State has stayed right there with them.
Taylor leads the way with 16 points. He is the only player in double digits. Out of bounds and to Pitt. So the turnover from the Pack. They have made their last 4 shots for Kevin Keats. Over 200 career victories for Keats in his 10th season overall. Carrington, wide of the mark.
That was his first really forced shot of the second half.
Despite the miss, still has 18 points. Hinson has 19, leads Pitt. Burns. The dexterity of the big man. Can't convert it.
I think the big thing is Federico's been able to stay out of foul trouble in this game, and he's been a bother to Burns inside.
Only 1 personal foul for Federico. Needs a little safety valve here and finds Hinson. Defender fell down. That's enough time for Hinson to hit that jumper.
Yeah, not falling down is enough time usually for him to get that jumper, but that's the second time he's had a clean look.
21 points tonight, Mike. Ball came right to Burns. Inside Diarra from pass and a foul on the play. Trying to recover defensively. It was Hinson.
And, despite it all, it's been a very quiet, efficient 21 points for Hinson. 3 to 14, couple of threes. He really has not forced his offense in this game.
14 times this season. 14 times. 20 points or more. Highlighted by the home game against Louisville, where he scored 41 and made 9 threes to tie his own school record. Because he made 9 at West Virginia as well in scoring 29 points.
And he had a bushel fall down at Durham, too, in that win at 8.
He did not miss.
Yeah.
7 of 7.
Yeah.
And 24 points in the win at Duke. In fact, Pitt had lost like 24 straight games on the road against ranked opponents since 2013 before the win on the road against Duke.
And that was the game, you know, when we asked said his team felt a little differently about itself after that win. Really started to build some confidence.
Everything but the finish for Hinson. Tried to ease that one up on the rim with the left hand. Changing in midair, mind you. Green, Drano, Taylor, Mike. The lead is single digits.
Yeah, and again, guys have stepped up. They've made plays, made shots.
Now, we saw NC State do this, Mike, on the road at Clemson when DJ Horn scored the winning bucket in the closing seconds. Carrington is open. Taylor grabs it.
I think he's got to be careful now, falling in love with that three and try to attack the rim.
Carrington is 3 of 8 on threes, and it's Taylor. 3 ball and timeout. And all of a sudden, a 6-point game. NC State is connected on 5 of its last 7 shot attempts.
Just, I mean, incredible resilience by this team without their best scorer. Taylor, coming off a really poor effort against Duke, has been outstanding in this game. And they have matched Pitt from the three-point line 7 apiece. There's Jaden Taylor's night.
The stark contrast from the first meeting against Pitt, where he was held scoreless. 22 tonight. He's up to 50 made threes this season, Mike. He's got 4 in the game, 4 of 7 and 22 points, and that leads all scorers. Hinson has 21 for Pitt. That is part of an 8-0 run for the Wolfpack.
I would expect Hinson to be a big part of this possession. But the other thing, too, is I would like to see Pitt get something attacking the rim.
Pressure the length of the court from the pack. NC State with that 8-0 run. Panthers trying to interrupt it right here. Inside of 4.5 minutes to go in regulation. Carrington weaves his way.
No second chance opportunities either for Pitt.
Seven of 18 on threes in the game for NC State. 4 of those from Jaden Taylor. He pumps up another one. Fouled on the three-point shots. Leggett with the foul for Pitt. When we come back, Taylor's at the free throw line for 3 attempts. The lead is 6. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary presented by Pacific Life, creating financial security for more than 150 years.
Yeah, Carlton Carrington has stepped up to see the three-point shooting, and over his last 3, he's been averaging 50% from 3, so hitting that mark in the second half. But then Jaden Taylor is the one who has really stepped up for NC State, with Horn being out of the game, having a massive night.
Taylor has 11 points, Mike, in the last 4 minutes and 20 seconds, and he's only 2 points away from his career high of 24. This is all after Monday's performance. 2 points, 1 rebound. Jaden Taylor.
And those points coming from the free throw line, didn't make a field goal in that game.
He is at the free throw line. He will have 3, fouled by Leggett in the act of shooting beyond 22 feet 1 3/4 inches away from the basket.
Kevin Keith, I asked him, I said, what has made you guys so tough on the road this year? And he says he refuses to let his team talk differently about the road as opposed to home. You know, it's not this daunting thing that we have to leave Raleigh and go out and win ball games. They've had 5 road wins.
It's 2 of 3 for Taylor. O'Connell and Hinson were flying out of bounds. O'Connell trailing the play and favoring his left leg as he runs up the court. Well, Jamie Lucky called the foul on Cam Woods, Mike.
But NC State, that's only their third team foul, so they are nowhere near putting Pitt at the free throw line in the bonus.
Just the one timeout for NC State. Pitt has two. And it was O'Connell on the hip, and he picks up the foul. Janelle Spearman right on top of the ball. Courtney Green is also with Jamie Lucky and Janelle Spearman tonight. Low. Leggett saved that kick.
Great catch.
Pass in tight quarters. Federico will turn around.
Teammates, they kind of passed him into a tough situation right there.
Early stages of this half, Mike. Pitt led by 17 points. Taylor. Foul prior to the shot. So Leggett.
So that's only 16 fouls, so Pitt has one more before State's in the bonus.
That's the fifth on Leggett, Mike.
We touched on it. I mean, the big issue in Raleigh was State fouling too much, and they've done a nice job defensively. And as quick as those leads have occurred for Pitt, they've evaporated just as fast.
Burns didn't get the bounce. Diarra boxed out by Hinson. He's over the top for the foul.
Now, the only bind that Kevin Keats finds himself in is they've got one timeout left. He's had to use those to massage his team back in. He's done a great job to get it to this point. 4-point game with 3 minutes to go.
Trailed by 10 points at halftime, 39-29 to the Panthers. Hinson against Diarra. Spins and shoots. Federico bounces that thing around out of bounds. NC State ball.
And I tell you, that is a really good defensive matchup for NC State. Diarra's got the quickness and the length to guard Hinson on the outside and then bother his mid-range game.
Kevin Keats and the Pack with a stunning comeback here in the second half. Still trailing by 4. 2.5 minutes remaining in regulation. Game in early February, and Raleigh was close. 3-point win for the Panthers on the road. Taylor got 2 defenders in the air, and he's going back to the free throw line. Federico and Austin in the vicinity defensively for Pitt.
And that's one thing, and Jaden Taylor has been very effective at getting to the free throw line this season.
4 of 6 tonight from the stripe, Mike. And he has tied his career high with 24 points. And now he's got a new career high with 25. Amazing performance from the junior from Indianapolis, Indiana. So Middlebrooks will check in for Kevin Keats.
Yeah,
Burns gets the breather.
Offense for defense going down these last 2.5 minutes.
Still a one-possession game. Wow.
A couple of misses for Taylor at the free throw line, though.
Buckle up for the final 2 minutes and change from Petersen Event Center. Low around Federico. Low to the rim. Rolls off. Federico follow.
Didn't get the finish, but that drive took everybody away from help and blocking out.
Federico with 8 points. Taylor puts up a 3. Off the mark. Panther basketball. And the Zoo loves it. Moments ago, the Pack cut the lead to 3. Federico on the offensive glass to make it 72-67. Mental mismatch. Carrington trying to use his speed. Diarra recovers defensively. Austin. Kick. Carrington.
A lot of poise on that possession. The shot clock right on their back.
Over 3 minutes without a field goal for NC State. Morcell trying to end that drought. Can't do it. Ball ends up with Taylor. He hits a three as he hits the deck. And a timeout. The final one of the game for Kevin Keats. 5-point lead for Pitt after the three from Jaden Taylor. My word, Mike. 28 points on the night and 5 made threes for Taylor.
He's been the story. You know, I often talk about when a guy goes out. Now here's that last play where the last Pitt possession. Carrington has been huge from behind the line. 21 points for him. He's matched Hinson, but you know, you don't expect one guy to take over for the other leading scorer, and Taylor has done exactly that and more than filling in for Horn.
5 made threes, one shy of a career high for Taylor. He has set his career high in points with 28. I mean, he has scored this season, and Jeff Capel's well aware of it. Taylor now for the 6th time over the 20-point plateau.
Right, you got to look again. We'll talk about the freshmen. You got Lowe at 85% free throw shooting, Carrington at 80% free throw shooting. So inbounding, you want to get the ball to them. Leggett also at 85%. So their primary ball handlers are guys that you don't want to foul. And still, NC State only 5 team fouls, so they've got 2 to get to the bonus.
NC State in the bonus. It was 17 fouls.
They can be really aggressive here going for a steal and not have it hurt them at all.
Incredible night for Jaden Taylor. Diarra and Morcell closing down on Jalen Lowe. So they give it to Diarra, his second. As Mike noted, 16 fouls now on NC State. Up ahead to Carrington in stride. Alley-oop, Diaz-Graham rocking the rim for Pitt.
And they're going to give a foul on the push, too, on that lob. And I love this. I mean, don't attack the press just to get it over half court. To just go right at the rim. Great look ahead. They got it over the front line of the defense, and then Carrington making a play.
Guillermo Diaz-Graham. His twin brother Jorge is out with an ankle injury. They are sophomores. From Spain, Canary Islands. Now the lead is 8 as he finishes off the old school three-point play and exits the ball game. 8 points, Diaz-Graham. Time is a factor for NC State. Diarra rattles home a three. Diarra with the three, Mike.
That's been a part of his game that's come alive in the last half of the season. He struggled early, but he's been terrific from behind the arc.
I mean, he'd made 10 threes in his last 7 games, right?
10 of 21.
Just canned one there on his second attempt of the night. So Carrington at the free throw line for Pitt.
Here you go. You get this guy, 80% free throw shooter. Front end of the one-on-one.
Jeff Capel will not be satisfied until the clock hits 0-0.
Had some real looks of exasperation with those timeouts down the stretch because NC State keeps on answering with threes.
Mike, he knows about last-second heroics, right?
Yeah.
In a Duke uniform back in 1995, and the three-point shot from just over midcourt to send that game against North Carolina to double overtime. It was a win for North Carolina.
Same result as this evening.
102-100. Highest scoring game in the history of the rivalry. Let's take a look at our player of the game, brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Visit Progressive.com.
It's going to be a senior night for him to remember for sure. We talked about he really has not been overly aggressive, but very efficient. 8 of 16, 2 of 6 from 3. 3 rebounds, couple of assists for him.
So the senior gets player of the game on senior night, as it should be, right, G-Man?
Somehow I think that Carrington's going to be on that all-freshman team when that gets announced next week. He'll get plenty of accolades.
They have combined for 44 points tonight. And 6 made three-pointers, 4 from Carrington. Taylor. That was halfway down. Middlebrook tried to follow Diarra as well. And taken by Austin. And then Morcell was right there. Last year's Coach of the Year, Jeff Capel in the ACC. Kevin Keats, his team, valiant effort, Mike, considering that DJ Horn, their leading scorer, did not play really most of this game. He went out in the first half.
I would think Jeff Capel will get some votes this year based on their turnaround. Although I got to think Hubert Davis might be a front runner for that award.
(25-6) on the season with a victory today for North Carolina and Hubert Davis. Number 1 seed in Washington next week. Looks like the Panthers are on their way to the double bye and one of the top 4 seeds. They'll be number 4. O'Connell unable to graze the rim. Morcell tried to bounce it off of Carrington. Could not do it. Final seconds from Petersen Event Center.
Double bye for the Pitt Panthers. First one ever in the ACC for them.
21st win of the season for Jeff Capel and Pitt. 81-73. NC State made it interesting, Mike. They closed the gap to just 3 points. But the Panthers prevail behind 44 points from Hinson and Carrington, a senior and a freshman combining on the victory.
Yeah, they were terrific. Carrington, especially from behind the arc, 4 of 9, and most of those and all of those in the second half. You know, Jaden Taylor, a valiant effort with DJ Horn out of the game early, only 3 points for him.
So the final 81-73. We've got more to come here on CW Courtside Saturday. We will talk with Jeff Capel and a couple of his players after the big win against NC State. The Oakland Zoo watched the Panthers and Blake Hinson go 13-5 at home this season, 6-4 on their home court in conference play. And we were joined by Jeff Capel, the head coach of the Pitt Panthers. All right, Coach, you came over and you said, I think we were up by 17. I look up at the scoreboard. It's a 3-point game, and they did it without DJ Horn, but you've got a very resilient group.
First of all, give them credit, because it would have been easy when Horn didn't come back the second half to lay down. And I think it speaks volumes to Kevin, their staff, and the character of their kids that they fought. We got up 17 with about 16 and a half minutes left. They made a push and got it back to 9. We got it back to 16 with about 8 minutes left, and they made a push. They kept playing. Proud of our guys for getting the win. We were able to make some plays, you know, towards the end. You know, breaking the press and getting the and-one dunk was huge. We were finally able to come up with a couple of stops. You know, Bub not fouling in the corner was huge because Taylor was scorching hot. Heck of a win for us. You know, really pleased with how we finished the regular season. You know, I thought we showed a lot of resiliency, a lot of guts with being 1-5 to respond like we did in this manner.
Jeff, you talk about Carrington. How difficult does he become when he's knocking down threes like he does in the second half? How difficult is he to defend?
Yeah, he's hard to defend because he has great size and he can make these plays where he can see guys and pass. He can get to mid-range. He can get to the basket. But when he's making threes, that makes you have to come out to him a little bit more and opens up a lot of things for us.
What you've had to deal with a ton of senior nights, and what did you talk about with Blake beforehand about kind of managing his emotions in the evening?
Yeah, I just talked to him just about, trying to be us, trying to be who we are. To be completely honest with you, we weren't the first 20 minutes. And when I told them at halftime, like, okay, finally everything's back to normal. Nothing has been normal all day long, for us and with the senior night, which is great. I'm not, but let's get back just to playing basketball. And I thought we did the first 3.5 minutes of the half. It's like we'd get up and then we'd relax. We'd get up and then we'd relax. And, we almost relaxed a little bit too much.
You closed out the season, Coach, winning 6 games in a row at home. But you told us at the shoot-around today, you start 1-5 in ACC play. You needed to get away from these friendly confines, do what you did at Duke and other places, Virginia most notably, and then control the game against your ACC opponents here on your home floor.
Yeah, we had a tough schedule to start the conference, and we did not play well. We weren't worthy of winning. I mean, we lost to Clemson here. It was a one-possession game with 3.5 minutes left. We came back. We lost to North Carolina. We held them scoreless the first 6 minutes of the game, but we couldn't score. We came back. We lost to Duke, and that was embarrassing. We lost to Syracuse. And so it was just a lot of noise around us and around our program. And I just felt like it was really heavy here. And I thought that even this is crazy, like you're 1-5 and you're going to Duke. That doesn't sound, but I thought for us, it was the best thing just to get away, where it's just us and we can kind of figure ourselves out. And obviously incredibly pleased with how we played at Duke, but even more pleased that we were able to respond after that. And then, to go down to Atlanta and beat Georgia Tech.
All right, good. Are you ready for this, Mike? Show him this.
Yeah, you got the double bye right there, and then you guys in that mix. Talk about that.
What? Speechless for the first time in a very long time.
That's wild. I mean, it really is. I'm just really proud of our guys, really proud of our staff, our program. If you look at the last few games we've had here at home, look at the crowd. I'm incredibly grateful, for them. And it's spring break, and still the students showed out, for our seniors. So really, really proud for that. And to have a double bye, it's the first time since I've been here. I think it's the first time since Pitt's been in the ACC for that to happen. And coming off of what we just talked about, being 1-5, to be in this position speaks volumes about the guys we have on this team.
We can certainly see how much it means to you and the accomplishments of your players, and there's work to do.
There's work to do.
In Washington.
We want more.
We know that. We know that. But congratulations on tonight. Celebrate senior night with your players. And we're going to talk to the player of the game, Blake Hinson, the senior. Had a nice night, 21 points. Made a couple of threes, too. More to come. The 21st win of the season for the Panthers and an emotional night for number 2. He comes up with 21 points. He and his teammates shoot 53% and win this game. It got a little close. It got a little dicey. It was a 3-point game, but Blake Hinson and his teammate Martin Carrington, and then getting free inside, and 21 points for Blake Hinson, the 14th time he's gone 20 points or more, and he's kind enough to join us in the aftermath of the victory. Everybody wants a piece of Blake Hinson, especially on senior night, but what an effort by you and your team to get the win at home and win another one at home. The winning streak continues now 6 in a row.
That's great, man. I love these guys to death for the effort they showed to send me out the right way. And I definitely tell them that when I get back, man. But that was a great effort, and we came out with a win the right way.
Yeah, but it's funny. I don't think you didn't look like you forced things early on, especially a night like this, that you were very efficient offensively. I'm just curious, before the game, what kind of interactions you have with your teammates?
It was the same thing. My dad was really, 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 really adamant about just me keeping my routine. Mm-hmm. He called me this morning and was just like, make sure you're doing everything the same. So, and I kind of got annoyed, but he was really big on that. But he was really big on that, and that's what I did. So everything was pretty much the same.
This game was a little closer than you may have thought in the second half. You built a 17-point lead, and they came back without DJ Horn in the lineup. But as far as what you and your teammates have been able to do, especially recently, and to put the cap on it tonight at home on senior night, how special was this evening for you and your teammates?
Beautiful. It was. I mean, it means a really a lot to me. This city has gave me everything. So just like every time I get an opportunity to last game of the season and get a win, it means everything.
And talk a little bit about your freshman guard, who's a freshman no longer. But Carlton Carrington he's expanded his game. He's hitting threes now. Talk about how he's grown over the course of the year.
Tremendously. And it's crazy because he came in really good.
Yeah, right.
So him keep getting better is really dangerous, man. But I wish the best for him. I mean, it sucks that our games together are dwindling down, but I'm going to make sure we give our effort, man, so we can get this tournament and keep this magic alive.
We asked Coach Capel about this, Blake. You started the ACC schedule 1-5, and now you've earned a double bye at the ACC tournament for the first time since Pitt has joined the ACC.
When you have a double bye last year?
I mean, how can you were number 5. You were the 5th seed last year. So you'll be the 4th seed this year. You won't play until the 3rd day of the tournament. How was that accomplished, keeping in mind how the ACC schedule started, and you had to go to Duke and win that one there where you went 7 for 7 on 3-pointers?
When you truly believe in yourself, and I'm not going to get the quote totally right, but if you focus on winning, or if you're too focused on losing, both is a detriment. If you're worried about playing bad or if you're worried about winning too much, it's a detriment. You just want to play. You want to just stay in the moment. And Kobe said that. And I think that's what we did when we was 1-5. We understood that we're 1-5. We don't have a good record, but we're getting better. And if you notice that on film, every time we watch film, we're getting better. We're getting better. We had the confidence that we're gonna whoop one of these teams and we're gonna get on a streak. So that's just being a professional and being really good.
How important was the win at Duke as far as your team confidence and how you guys looked at one another coming out of that building after the 1-5 start?
You turn the season because most 1-5 teams, don't go to Cameron and win. Mm-hmm. But when you have a team that's young, and not only young but new to each other, that might just happen even though it's still a good team. So I think I know that's what we fell under right there, and that was just the day it clicked for us, and I think we've been rolling ever since.
You've won 11 of your last 14 games in the ACC. How do you feel about going to Washington next week and actually being able to hang out for a couple of days and then take on your opponent on the 3rd day?
I feel like we're going to win the championship.
You heard it here from Blake Hinson.
Yep.
They have the double bye for the first time as a member of the ACC, and tonight comes up with 21 points.
Well, and I think you all have made a statement not only about this season in the ACC tournament, but the NCAAs as well. I think you've made a big statement about definitely belonging in that field.
I ain't come back not to go. I didn't come back not to go. I didn't come back to have a farewell tour in Pittsburgh. That wasn't the idea. The idea was to go back and finish what I didn't finish last time and bring a championship back to Pittsburgh. And that's still the mentality. That's still the attitude.
Blake, congratulations on the victory tonight, everything that comes along with senior night, and the best to you and your teammates and Coach Capel and his staff in Washington next week. And you performed well in front of the Zoo tonight and got the home win.
I appreciate it. Head of Pitt. Lee, what's happening?
Congratulations to the Panthers and Blake Hinson, so kind enough to join us. Jeff Capel as well. And the Panthers now, their record 21-10, Mike. 12-8 in conference play. So they roll to the tournament. They got the double bye. They're joined by Virginia, Duke, and North Carolina will be the number 1 seed. North Carolina sweeping Duke. They got the win today at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Look forward to Washington for us next week.
Well, and I think going in, talk about a great catapult into the tournament. North Carolina following up the win in Chapel Hill, going to Cameron, getting that win, going in. They've got to be the prohibitive favorite, looking at next week. Duke had been playing very well up to that point. But all of a sudden, team from Pittsburgh's looking pretty good. And, Virginia's always dangerous. So it's going to be a fun tournament.
So while they head to Washington, Mike, we have come full circle on CW Sports. We started our football season with Cincinnati and Pitt right here in the Steel City. We finish it tonight right here with Pitt and NC State. NC State made this a game, as we mentioned, in the second half. It has been a tremendous year of football and basketball in the ACC on the CW.
Yeah, and I talked about it. We have a great time. We have the best seat in the house every weekend, and courtside with CW has been fabulous. Look forward to every Saturday, and the great game that's going to unfold in front of us, and it didn't disappoint tonight either.
Yeah, CW courtside Saturday and our Saturdays of football in the ACC as well, and we thank everybody who's been a part of it. There are so many people behind the scenes who do such great work for Raycom Sports and for CW Sports, and they have done a tremendous job this season. We thank you for watching ACC basketball on the CW. Pitt wins at 81-73. It's been an incredible first season of CW Courtside Saturday, and we thank you for joining us each weekend. We'll be back in the fall with ACC football on the CW. But for now, for Mike Jaminski and our fantastic crew, I'm Tom Wormy. So long from the Steel City. Once again, our final score. The Pitt Panthers 81, the NC State Wolfpack 73. So long from Pittsburgh.